The award I get today is a pretty humbling award. It certainly is not something I take on my own, but there's a team that goes into getting this award, and I have probably what I would consider the best team, not just in Middlesex County, but in the state of New Jersey. The attorneys I have working for me, my partner Greg Stathis, my staff, especially my two assistants, Jesse and Linda, certainly are the puppet masters that tell me where to go, how to be there, and what to do. So they make me look good, and I thank them all for that. The reason this award is especially special for me is the fact that I always considered myself to be a Middlesex guy. I went to grammar school in Middlesex County. I went to high school in Metuchen. I grew up in Kendall Park. I was raised in South Brunswick. My entire life pretty much revolves around Middlesex County in some way or the other. When I first went to law school and I applied for my judicial clerkship, I was lucky enough to get the clerkship with Judge Brykoff, who at the time was the assignment judge. I don't think I realized at that point in time how special that was and how big a man Judge Brykoff was. But it was a great clerkship, and I felt that by getting that clerkship, then everything should revolve and work very easy. Not realizing at that point, and that was in '91, that the job market at that point really wasn't all that great either. I applied to a number of different firms in Middlesex County, all of which who pretty much said no. The Hoagland office, the Eichen office, and the Wilentz office. And I found out later, I think I only got the interview at Wilentz was because Judge Brykoff was very close with Mo Brown. They said, interview him. But what happened was, and things always, I always find they work out for a reason. And this continues with my Middlesex theory. I went back after getting rejected from all these jobs, and I went back to my clerkship, and I was pretty troubled. It's August, clerkship's about to end, and I ran into an attorney who happened to be working at Hoagland that day, Doug Susan. And Doug Susan is the husband now of Judge Happus. So at that point in time, Doug comes up to me and says, "Hey Nick, you know, how's the job hunt going?" And I said, "Doug, it kind of stinks. I'm really having a hard time here." So he said, "Well, you know, I heard the Lombardi office is looking for an attorney. He goes, you may want to give him a call." So as fate would have it, I was working on a motion for Michael Lombardi, and that motion was very well prepared, had everything he needed, including 3 copies of the proposed order. I took those 3 copies and threw them in the garbage. And I called Lombardi and I said, "Listen," I said, "we have a motion here and there's no orders." Judge Brykoff will not be happy if there's no orders. You got to get here like this afternoon. Just bring me some orders, I will help. So he came down, brought me 3 orders, and I said to him, "Hey, I understand you may be looking for an attorney." And I got an interview. So I figured, you know, 1 for 4 is not bad. I'll give it a shot. And I interviewed with them, and they offered me my first job. And I stayed with them as a partner for 11 years. And as a trial attorney, really the most important thing, obviously, is getting into the courtroom. And in this day and age, it's difficult, I think, to do that. Michael was very kind and good enough to get me in the courtroom at a very early start. So early, I think it was 2 weeks after I got there, I had my first trial with Judge Francis, who at that point was the special civil court judge. And I got the case at 12 o'clock, and they said, "Be there at 1:30, it's not a big deal." Well, if you're practicing 2 weeks, it's a huge deal. And at this point, it's maybe October, it's cold out, I have my suit on, I've got these, you know, 80s, 90s big bubble glasses on. And I said, "Well, I can't try this case at 1:30, I don't know anything about it." They said, "Just get down there and do it, it's a no-brainer." So I get down there, and Judge Francis says, "All right, present your case," and I was clueless as to what to do. And I blame this on Seton Hall University. In that I was not prepared to try cases. Admitting it to evidence, I just gave it to him. I said, "Here, take it. This is the invoice. You know? He owes us money." But there was a seasoned attorney on the other end who was, he looked really old. I don't know how old he was, but I was really upset with him because he was not a nice guy. And I couldn't figure out how to admit this document into evidence. And he was really taking advantage of a young attorney. And Judge Francis pulled him off to the side, and we went to sidebar. And he said, "Counselor," he says, "do your job. Be an advocate for your client. Do not take advantage of this young attorney. And they said, now go outside and work something out. So we worked it out. I think I got $1,000. I was happy. I went back to my office. I said, I won. But what I learned was preparation, no matter what it is, it could be the law or anything, is key to what we do. If you're not prepared, I don't care how smart you are, you're not going to do well. And I felt at that point in time when I went back to my car and I had sweat stains on my suit, it was horrible, horrible. And I said, I'll never be unprepared again and look that bad in front of people. So from that day on, my mantra always was, you may not be the smartest person in the courtroom, but you very well better be the most prepared. Preparation, be more prepared than your adversary, and things will go well for you.